Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Drinks and Dave's. Hello, Dave. How are you?
Hey, Dave.
And
It's beautiful.
we have got just a huge, huge number of people
Hey,
in the bar tonight. Just
well,
absolutely amazing. And we showing how good we multitask. We've got people that we're talking to on another ones, and somebody who's saying he doesn't drink Monday through Thursday.
which we
I
know
think we
is.
need to challenge that. But yeah,
Ah,
I wonder.
all right, that's appropriate and funny.
Yes.
Maybe
But
they'll.
have you noticed, is he here? If he can, hello, Stephen, if he can check in on the other platform we're on, why can't he be on this platform?
Right. Well,
So,
such is life. You know what?
yes.
I just realized you told me with a temperature there, it's
Hmm.
perfect here, and it's 40 degrees cooler than it is there.
What are you in the 60s?
70.
Oh, God.
70, nice breeze, perfect.
And well, today we actually only made it to 100. But
Oh,
again, once you get to
30.
100, it doesn't matter.
That's right.
Although Thursday, like I told you earlier, Thursday we're supposed to be 109 to 111.
Yeah.
So,
You told me something right before the show here. I'm very concerned about is that your humidor is below the minimum stockage to keep it regulated well. You just logistically, you got to put some more sticks in there.
yeah, we've been concentrating on getting the coach all set and ready to go camping, and I've kind of ignored that. So yes, I am running very, very low on stock. But there's good news to running low on stock because then you have to say I have to fill it now. And as you can see, I have all the sympathy in the
No,
world.
no sympathy. Can you go camping without a cigar? I mean, that's not camping then,
No, no,
right?
no, because
You're more like a
seriously,
transient at that point.
yeah, exactly. It's like living in a dumpster. No, cigars will be joining us. In fact, I'm still trying to figure out a place, and there is a slot. There is a slot where I think I could tuck in a nice small humidor, but we'll have
I
to see.
see.
Somehow, I think that's not going to happen, but it's worth a shot. Speaking of cigars, what are you smoking tonight?
I'm finishing up. What is it? Creme brulee.
Ah,
And then we'll move
yes.
over to the Olivia G.
Yeah, I'm out of Olivas right now, so I'm smoking the official cigar of
Oh,
the Drinks and Dave show, the Metropolitan Host.
nice.
So,
Yeah, I don't. I always go back to the Olivas. I think half my humidor is some form of Oliva or something.
what I love is P Beat's already acting out the parts of our
Right.
two of Statler and Waldorf.
There you go. Shave better, quicker. And Mocanador. Those are cool. I like those
Yes,
better than the Tupperdoors.
yes,
Yeah. Or the little. They
yeah.
sell the acrylic thing.
But see if I can get a regular humidor in there plugged in
Oh,
and just
yeah.
that would
Say
be wonderful.
say it quiet. She's not going to hear you over the speakers.
I'll whisper
Over the
because
speakers.
then I would have my own cigar lounge that I could just walk
Oh,
out to. There is benefits.
oh, that's,
Come on,
hmm.
it would be like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood saying, "Okay, boys and girls, let's go out to the cigar."
Oh, can we get a hook right by the door? You can put your smoking jacket
Well,
on.
that's what I figured, and then I don't, and then of course you were nice enough to send me this, and I've got. She won't let me put it up in the coach though. Wouldn't that be cool? That would be
I
so
think
cool.
on the back window,
Yes. Oh, that's even
face
better.
out.
Oh, that's a great idea. Thank you.
Yeah.
Somehow I don't think that's going to happen, but I can dream. I can
Yeah.
dream.
Oh, remember I was saying you guys should get that thing wrapped. You should get it wrapped to look like a cigar lounge.
Okay, you. Yeah, wouldn't that be no? But you know what? You know how because they say that RV people are among the nicest people in the world. But if you park and you have this chimpanzee in the back window smoking a cigar, people won't come near you.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, that's why
Hey,
I couldn't, something to fret while camping.
yeah.
But see, right now in Arizona, you can't even light a cigarette outside the coach because there's fire.
Oh,
The fire restrictions are everywhere. In fact, one of the places we wanted to go camping, the entire road, State Route 87 up to the camping place, has got like 7,000 acres of fires right along the road. So
oops.
yeah, So unfortunately. What are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Ardbeg Heavy Vapors.
Okay. Now see here, I that's pretty cool. I'm actually just having a Coke Zero, but this is what scares me. Okay. Tig Lily. Should I be scared?
I don't think you'll be coming back with it in one piece.
That's what I'm saying. Definitely put up the monkey.
Yeah.
The monkey.
Like
Let's play with the monkey.
That doesn't sound like acceptance. It sounds like a dare.
Actually, P-Beat brought up a real good point. Chimpanzee smoking will attract frat boys to your camper. But actually, Tig Lily may like that. Hard rock, hard abs, and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Do a lot of frat boys have RVs, you think?
No, but they have rock hard abs, and
Do they? Great.
Yay. So what do you know who I'm not seeing tonight? I haven't seen our friends Spider and Amber.
Yeah.
I don't know, they
odd,
could be in here. I don't see Pantea yet.
No, she had to work late. I don't know that she's going to make it on.
Well, you remember a romper room where she would have that looking glass and she'd look out and see all the people. So
sure did.
So should we tell the barflies what our show's about tonight?
It's almost self-explanatory. We tried to get this going last week, right? To go give us stuff to complain about. Nobody did. I said, you know what? We'll do it anyway. So Dave and I thought, we're good at complaining about stuff. So we'll name things in theory that the other person likes. We've got a list for each other of stuff that they like, but they got to complain about it. So hopefully that will stoke the fires of
the
barfly
of the
barfly fires.
And if it doesn't, we're going to start putting stuff in their drinks.
We'll stoke your fires one way or the other.
Now the difference between, I don't know if Dave's going to do it, but my list, he has to pick a number from 1 to 10. And whatever number he picks, that's the subject that he has to complain about. And these may be subjects that we actually like, but the story of the show is complaining.
Right. And then again, we're professionals.
Absolutely.
So we can complain about anything.
Mm-hmm. And maybe the barflies will throw in a few here and there.
Right. They'll get sick of what we won't want to complain about.
And I have a challenge. No, never mind, because half the list, forget what I said. It wouldn't work.
Well, it's got to be stuff that we like. Everybody can complain about this.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Canned shave junk.
Yeah, because it's got formaldehyde in it. It's got all kinds of nasty stuff.
She made it.
There she is. She made it.
Does it? I've never used canned stuff. Does it? Yeah, full of nastiness.
The Edge gel has I used to have a list of ingredients, but it's got formaldehyde in it. It's got all kinds of long words that have nothing but consonants in them. That says chlorate on the end of it, so it's nasty.
Wait, you can't use formaldehyde on anything anymore, though, right? Isn't that a cancer-causing?
Well, sure it is. That's the thing. But remember what they say about Gillette: it's the best a man can get before his face falls off. So, have you seen that commercial? Speaking of, since we're complaining, where you have the dad and the kid. And the dad's going, that's not, or the kid goes, that's not my Gillette. And his dad goes, hey, wait a minute. And he's got this foam on his face. Now it looks like he took cotton balls and pasted to his face. It's not smooth. And then he shaves and he does this. He comes straight down, goes sideways, turns this way, and goes down and goes, that took care of everything. Oh yeah, it's the dumbest commercial in the world. So
no, I haven't seen that.
So would you like to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, you get to go first. And you get to pick a number.
Oh, get started that way.
Yes.
Well, let's do number 8.
Number 8. Okay, your complaint is of this decade.
Of the 20s? Well, come on.
There you go.
That's not a hard. That's a give me.
Well,
right?
I didn't say it was going to be hard. I just said that it was going to be a subject. So.
Well, it's got to be the crappiest decade we've had for 100 years, right? With the shutdown, and we've got school-age kids that had to do the distance learning that set them back. Oh no, not 8. Is she just here to give?
Yes,
give a hard time. All right, she's the third person in the balcony
in the what we call the David sphere.
Well, poor thing. That's like the dungeon. In fact, I
So
can't. There's not a lot good about this decade so far, right? You had tons of people dying because of COVID. You had it affect the economy, jobs, mental health. What else?
people's attitude. My big thing, and I agree with everything you said, but my big complaint is people's attitudes on how they treat each other, even if there are. And we've had this discussion. Even if they've got opposing views, in the past, if we had opposing views, you'd appreciate it, you'd respect them, and say, "Hey, you believe you, you do you, I'll do me." But now, no matter what side of the fence you're on, people won't accept your opinion on anything anymore without having to make some type of controversy. And I think that led, I think all the mental stuff and all the crazy stuff of COVID and this beginning part of this decade, I think all that led to that. I really do. I really, really do. It's sad. The only thing that benefited from this whole COVID craziness in a very small amount of time, though, was the environment. Because when we weren't driving, we weren't doing anything out. But my complaint to that, since this is a complaining show, is that now that we're back to everything, it's going to all go in the pooper again. So
It's all bad. It's all bad again. Yeah.
Oh, and did you all? Oh, and speaking of that, did you hear on the news today that credit card debt is higher than it was pre-COVID? People are now saying we don't care if we get into debt to go traveling, to go out to dinner. They're using credit cards like $13.6 trillion in debt.
Dang.
That's big money.
Yeah. Go get your cigars. It's okay, Dave.
Exactly. Okay, your turn.
Dave, I
Yes.
wanted to hear you complain about your Corvette.
That's not fair. Wow. The only thing I would complain about my Corvette is that it gets dirty.
That's a cop out.
No, actually, what Tig Lily just said, where I park, apparently some birds have set up shop in the eaves of said carport. And every morning I go out and they have decided to drop their litter, so to speak, on my car.
So you built a cover
Look
to
who's
keep
here.
your car protected, and it's now housing poop machines.
Doves, sparrows, little babies. Yeah, so I actually have a conversation with them every morning. I say, guys, listen, I'm an environmental guy. I appreciate that you need a place to live and be safe, because they moved from our backyard where there was a king snake that would cruise up the trellis and eat their eggs and stuff. So they've moved to this place thinking that a king snake won't get up. What they don't know is I'm planting some king snakes right around there. Yes.
They've got those wire things that stick up that they'll put along. You need a whole bunch of them.
Right. But see, my big thing is I'm afraid, knowing the type of birds that I do know, that they would gore themselves on that, and then I would feel guilty.
Or I've seen also netting, that you can put netting all underneath so they can't get up in there.
Well, it's not so much but the poop can go through the netting either way.
Oh, look, here's a complaint. It's not fast enough. Is your Corvette fast enough?
Yeah, for me it is. I mean, it's just under 520 horsepower. It'll go. I mean, it'll.
What
do
about
0 to
mileage? Doesn't that suck?
20?
All right,
I get 20.
That's not bad. Here's a question for you. Who's the bigger complainer?
Yes. I think we're about equal.
All right, here's your list of.
Okay, here are the ingredients from good old Dave Ritter. We'd like to see you, Dave. Eggshell contains water, palmitic acid, triethylamine, sunflower seed oil.
That was a dinosaur.
Yeah, no.
Dr.
See,
Siffer
this is what people are putting on their faces instead of using the true stuff.
Wait, he's not done.
Oh, there's more.
There's the rest. There you go.
Titanium dioxide, yay. Cyclodextrin.
Maltodextrin.
And maltodextrin's bad for diabetics, actually, because it's
I don't
just
think
sugar.
you absorb. I don't think you absorb that.
I don't know, but why would anybody do this?
Anyway, yeah. Welcome, Stephen. Glad
the
glad to have you here.
knower of birds. Yeah, so that's the only thing. Other than that, I love my Corvette. I love the color. I love the engine. I love the look. I love this. I mean, a manual would have been nice, but Tig Lily wants to drive it, so I got the paddle shifters, which is fine. So
Do you use those?
yes, I'd use them at least once a week. Yeah, and there's a nanny. There's a nanny system on the Corvette where you punch it once and it takes off all the stability control. You punch it twice and it's in full race mode. So that means full throttle response, no steering help at all. And if you really nail it and you don't know where you're at, you can get in trouble in a hurry. So that's the only thing I don't like about it.
No.
So
Dextrin is good for.
Oh, but
how
this
about
is
Edge Gel Porter? I haven't seen that.
That's true. But I like this. Maltodextrin is good for milk stouts, and this is from a man who only drinks Saturdays. Or what did he say? He doesn't drink Monday through Thursday.
For
so
Friday through Sunday.
Right.
So he's
8
nice
a.m.
and liquored up for work on Monday.
Exactly.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Yeah, I like what Dave said. You need a PhD in chemistry to read this. Exactly. And you're putting it on your face. Ugh. Okay, Dave, pick another number.
2.
Okay, now, for those people that just showed up, what we're doing is Dave and I are complaining about anything. We could like it, we could not like it, but this number is associated to a subject. So, you are going to now complain about fruit.
Oh, dude, that's easy. Because fruit ticks me off anyway. I've said this before. I'll eat most vegetables, but fruit makes me mad.
Now, let me put a disclaimer in. None of these were discussed with each other beforehand, so...
No, but I brought this up more than once, I think. It's roulette. Every time you eat any fruit, especially like singular fruit where you're eating a bunch like grapes, strawberries, that stuff, whether or not it's going to be good or not. You could have a bunch of grapes and you eat 3 beautiful, juicy, sweet ones, and then that sour, nasty, hard one ruins the whole thing.
Or the mushy
That's
one.
Right. So that's what ticks me off about the watermelon. You don't know what that's going to look like when you buy it in the damn store.
What I love is, and you thump it, and you get these what I call these watermelon experts, and watermelon whisperers that come and thump it and say, "Oh yeah, this is a good one. This is a good one." There's only one person that I've ever seen or heard of. I never met this person that knew exactly how good a watermelon was, and that was Tig Lily's grandfather. He was truly a watermelon whisperer.
He was like, what is those guys that find the water?
Yeah, he was like, what do they call him? Yeah, the whatchamacallit.
He's that guy with the.
But see, the thing is that what bothers me more than anything about watermelon is it looks good and it's big. So you're expecting that you're going to eat on this for a little while. You get home. We just had this happen. Basically, it tasted like watered cardboard. It was horrible.
Yeah, so, it can be mushy and stuff. Steven, I don't even. People will offer me, "Hey, do you want a piece of this?" I go, no. It could be delicious. It could not be, and I don't want to risk just the disappointment.
Right. Now, I will say one thing. When you grow your own, that's a little bit better as far as when you grow your own fruit. So we're growing blueberries, oranges, and I have found a fruit that I do love, and it's called mulberries. They're very, very good. They're absolutely amazing. They're like a dark
well, there's the mulberry bush that you dance around.
Well, that's...
So are they round like...
they look like long raspberries.
Oh, okay.
They're really
They're
good.
Like those fruits, is that a single fruit or are they a ton of little, like, is a raspberry like 40 fruits all connected together?
I don't know. That's a good point. But I like what Pantea says. He is anti-fruit.
For this reason.
Yes.
I mean, like, if you get the perfect almost any fruit, it is delicious and enjoyable. But
now Tathra says he always picks crap avocados. Then you need to talk to Tig Lily. She is the avocado whisperer, and that's actually known as Avocado Queen on our other forum. So she knows avocados. I will give her that. But this drives me. Cantaloupe. That's another one. You get a cantaloupe and you're figuring, this is going to be wonderful. It's going to have that nice melon feel, and you get it, and it tastes like a shoe. And then somebody will come along and put salt on it. Ugh.
That might bring out the flavor, though.
It doesn't for me. It doesn't.
Now, but I think he also might be referring to you get like mixed fruit or fruit salad, and 3/4 of it's cantaloupe.
Mm-hmm.
And you got like 2 strawberries off on the side, 1 blueberry down at the bottom of the bowl. Yeah.
Okay,
But
so tell
this,
me this then. So all these fresh fruits, quote quote, that we eat that sometimes are good, sometimes are bad. The grape is a perfect thing. 3 perfect grapes, and then you get the one mushy one that makes you think, whose shoe has this been sitting under?
yeah.
And but then you open up a can of fruit cocktail, tastes perfect. There's
Well,
only
that's
one
because it's
answer to
not
that.
just fruit.
It's right. It's called preservatives.
Yeah. Well, you know, the other problem with this is you could pick the perfect one, but they're usually hard when you buy them in the store, right? And they're perfect to eat for about 7.5 minutes between being hard and then getting too mushy.
Well, there's probably a couple other subjects that could probably fit that bill too, but we won't go into that.
Yeah.
No, but actually, but actually,
Colorado.
I have learned that if you take avocados and put them in a brown paper bag with flour,
I've heard that.
they do
heard
okay.
that. Now, see, here you go. So now we're talking about inserting science into this, right? Because
Mm-hmm.
you know, we talked to Spider KJ about engineering hotter and hotter peppers. They work really hard on getting apples that last longer and are sweeter. So this is probably an engineered fruit,
I've never even
right?
heard of sugar kiss melons
Yeah.
because I love cantaloupe, but sugar kiss melon, and I love honeydew melons too, so they're really good too. But I agree with you. That's
And what's
what
wrong
obsessed
with now mangoes too? What a pain in the ass those are. Those taste wonderfully, but what you got about an inch of fruit around this seed that's 3/4 of the size of the fruit, and it's like stuck to it, right? Have you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Papayas are the same way. And then when you peel them, the fruit is so stringy and slippery that literally, if you're sitting on a balcony, you have to be careful because you eat your papaya and it goes off the edge, and you could brain somebody.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's some fruit in Puerto Rico called canepas. They're little tiny, and you eat them, and they're wonderful and stuff like that. But then you find out that if you touch it to your shirt, it'll ruin your shirt. It's like, why? Bananas are the only one that show.
Now, see, a Snickers, every time you open that wrapper, that thing is the same as 20 years ago, right?
That's
The
right.
Snickers you ate before, the Snickers you eat now. It's not, yeah. Good point, Stephen. Snickers
point,
is
good
much
point.
better than fruit.
Right, exactly. Okay, so I think we've exhausted fruit. Okay, my turn. Give me one.
Your turn. All right. So you've got the day off at work.
Yes.
It's not too high. It's a perfect temperature for what is that, 75 for you maybe?
Yeah, that'd work.
So you don't have anything to do and you're sitting outside smoking your favorite cigar.
Okay.
Complain about that.
Well, okay. If sometimes my favorite cigar, sometimes because it is a hand rolled product, it's not a machine product. Sometimes you can have a cigar completely separate on you.
Oh,
So if it's too dry outside, all of a sudden it
bastards.
separates on it, ruins it. It ruins it. Or what also ruins a perfect day, and what I hate to complain about, is out here, as you know, especially when it starts to warm up a little bit, even when it's in the 70s, there may be an errant critter that just decides to come join you on the patio, whether that be a snake, a scorpion, a tarantula. So that kind of ruins the mood, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, so that's my main complaint. With
You know, Stephen went right from hero to us needing moderators that can mute somebody for a while. You know, we'll have to think about that for a future show. Do you get the scorpions don't come out during the day, right?
What we gotta do? Mm-hmm.
Well, that's messed up. Yeah. So
But
do
see,
you
but you
wait.
notice that, huh?
Isn't that just sport then? If a spider starts crawling around, don't you have a spider stick or something like that out there?
No, because unfortunately I used to be the type that if it had 8 legs and it crawled, it died. But
Yeah.
I went through KJ spider therapy to
Yeah.
realize that spiders are actually beneficial. They eat other insects, and so I don't kill spiders anymore.
Yeah. This could if Kona snuggled up against you while you're smoking, and then he just let
You know,
one loose. That could.
he doesn't that's the one thing he does not have. He does not poof, as they say.
Oh,
He doesn't do it. He's like the perfect dog. He really is. He's pretty
That's
much
sweet.
the perfect dog. So, and
right.
you know what I love? Steven doesn't show up for months and months and months, and now he's become our moderator, like you said. I mean, come
All
on.
right,
What is it?
let's do number one. Let's hear the first thing you thought of for me to
Okay.
complain about.
You're gonna hate me for that.
Oh.
Cereal.
No, well, that's easy too, Dave.
Really?
Well,
How can you
because
complain about cereal? Cereal's wonderful.
the best cereal is full of sugar, right? And the best cereal of all cereals is Lucky Charms, right? So you're just basically eating dessert for breakfast.
Okay.
So that's not good for you. Especially you can't eat cereal anymore because the cereal is carbs and the milk is carbs, and you can't do it. But almost like an avocado, where
But you
you've
could
got
have
a
you could have cereal
limited
with heavy
amount of
cream.
time.
You could
What?
have cereal with heavy. You could have cereal with heavy cream.
Oh my God. Have you done that?
Yeah.
I can't eat that much heavy cream.
And they also have heavy. They also have keto cereal now.
Yeah, for $15 a box.
True.
I've seen that. I've seen that stuff.
But see,
What did-
no, we were having this conversation, and Tig Lily said that you need to call it cereal killing. And I said, why is that? Because nobody likes grape nuts. I love grape nuts. Everybody thinks they're little rocks. I like them.
Well, okay, but that's the hardest one to eat. If you like to eat them super hard and crunchy where you're going to break off a molar, that's on you. I don't mind the taste of them if they're soaked in milk for about 11 minutes and covered with a 1/4 inch of sugar.
Oh, not the sugar. You lost me with
you
the sugar.
you gotta, yeah.
No, see, to me, the perfect breakfast is you take the grape nuts, you pour the milk on it, go take your shower, go shave, do whatever you're gonna do, come back, toast an English muffin with some orange juice, grape nuts, English muffin, orange juice, perfection in a breakfast.
Now this surprise you. He's not wrong,
No, he's not.
right?
It's the
And
killer
how
cereal.
does this cereal still exist? It tastes delicious, but why can't we understand chemistry now? They could make it just a little less structurally sound, right? But no, they leave it just that. Yep, that one's an odd one too.
Well, but see, the thing is, if you want to try an experiment, and this actually works, take a mouthful of Captain Crunch, eat it like you would normally. Remember that. Then go take a mouthful of water and some Cheetos, and it's the same texture.
What?
It's the same.
No, you
texture.
go eat some water with some. Hell.
Well, you can do milk with the Cheetos.
Okay,
too,
all right. So you're saying if you ate a spoonful of Cheetos, it would rip up your mouth too, just like the Captain Crunch.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly. Okay. See, I knew there was a reason why Pantea was my favorite. She
Well,
loves grape nuts.
which is weird because I don't think we've had grape nuts in our house for 10 years.
You're in trouble.
No. So here, PB. Okay, this is an invalid point though, because Roundup, these guys, it's got to be it's in grain, right? So it's in anything that has grain in it. So it's not specific to cereal. Although I guess if that's your complaint, like I love cereal, but I'm eating Roundup. But I would say, do you have weeds in your stomach? Probably not. So there you go. That's right. She's hiding it. No need to hide them. Go ahead and the kids would not.
No, but
it's
you know,
interesting
cereals.
because
Remember the cereals, and this is a complaint. Cereals were always dual purpose when we were kids. You pour the milk in, you eat the cereal. Guess what? You got a glass of chocolate milk now, or you
Right.
got a glass of strawberry milk. You don't have that anymore. You
Okay.
drink. You eat Raisin Bran. Sure, it tastes good and everything else, but 10 minutes later, the fiber has decided to take hold, and well.
so you like the sugar-free cereals, or not
Yes, yeah.
not the kid cereals. I
Other
see.
than Lucky Charms. Lucky Charms
Really?
are
Oh,
Lucky
okay.
Charms are a
Okay.
classic. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay, so when are the two best times to eat cereal?
Sometimes for dinner, believe it or not,
There you go.
and sometimes for breakfast, obviously, and then sometimes
breakfast
when you're watching a movie late at night. There's nothing like a bowl of cereal with cold milk and an English muffin. Got to have an English muffin. I don't know why.
With cereal?
Yeah, you have to have it. You have to have it.
I've never heard such a thing.
Yeah. Well, because English muffins are the perfect breakfast bread. I don't think you'll argue that point with me.
I do enjoy a scone, though I can't have them often. Right. So I default to English muffin. Yes.
Okay, so there's a complaint as we're going. What is the difference between a scone and a Danish and a cinnamon roll?
What? Well, so first of all, what the hell, PB? It's 9:30.
No, he's saying he likes cereal at
bed. Okay, all right. Sorry.
Oh, and by the way, did you see that Steven
Yes,
says
I
that
saw.
Star Wars acolytes on?
He doesn't have TiVo anymore, apparently.
Apparently, yeah. He can't press the record button on his smart TV.
Yeah. A scone is much denser. I don't know.
I got to find out what this means. What is up with the English muffin age? That was from Shave Better Quicker.
I don't know what that means.
And yes, it's either a Thomas's English muffin or I can't remember the name of it. There was a British version, but they did not call them English muffins. They called them something else, like toaster biscuits, something like that, and they were very, very good.
Not the what is that English thing that's not? It's thin and it's dense. Muffin age. Well, muffin age. What's the English muffin age? Muffin age.
I don't know.
All right.
Okay.
All right,
so give me the next one.
Whoops.
Crumpets. That's it.
Crumpets. That's it. I want you to complain about Yingling Hershey's Porter.
You are being really cruel to me tonight.
Oh, we're professionals.
Okay. Right. So here is my complaint of Yingling.
Wait, tell everybody what.
Okay. Yingling is a beer manufacturer, and they came out in conjunction with Hershey's, who make the chocolate. They came out with a chocolate porter beer. I was fortunate enough to try it a few years ago, and I became like Heisenberg on Breaking Bad with this stuff. I am addicted to it. But unfortunately, in the state of Arizona, we can't get it. Ergo, there's my complaint. The closest place for me to get it is, I think, Missouri or maybe Texas. I might be able to get it in Texas. And so I've been thinking, and you know this, I've been thinking about recreating a movie. And that movie is Smokey and the Bandit. So I need to get I've got the fast car. Now I just need to find somebody who can drive a semi and follow me all the way to Missouri in 23 hours to pick up cases and cases of Yingling chocolate porter. So my complaint is that I can't get enough of it.
You know, you just answered a question for me, because sometimes you'll be driving down a road and you'll see two cars pulled off to the side, both with their trunks open. You're like, what the hell are those people doing? That's you meeting up with somebody halfway that sells this stuff, transferring cases of beer over to your trunk.
Absolutely.
I got it.
Absolutely. It's that good. In fact, last night or 2 nights ago, I decided to have the one and only one that was still in my refrigerator. And it was so good, but it was also depressing knowing that the next time I'll get it is probably when I drive back to Missouri.
Yeah.
It's just...
Well, they don't have a Hershey stout, do they?
Yeah, they don't have a Hershey stout, but I'm a Guinness person. And this, I can tell you right now, PB, if you tried, well, you should be able to get it actually where you're at. I think you can get Yingling chocolate.
Isn't PB Florida?
Down in that area, and I think it's there. I think it is. I'm not sure. So, okay, you ready for yours?
Yeah.
Pick a number.
10.
Your state.
Oh. Well, everything's freaking expensive here. That's the biggest. You know, a lot of I'll also defend it at the same time, because a lot of people complain, oh, California, lots of liberals, they restrict this, they restrict that. But California is known as like setting the way, that a lot of the stuff we put into law ends up slowly moving across the country, right? So I say we got the cojones to just step out there and do stuff that might frustrate people, but it's a good thing to do. But so two big complaints: the cost of everything. So when we talk about, people ask, well, what does this cost? This and that? I say it doesn't matter. It's California money. It doesn't apply to the rest of the country. It's like separate separate world here. You can't compare the two. The other big complaint I have is everything is so spread out. So sometimes we want to do like just an overnight for a weekend somewhere. And once you leave the Bay Area, there's nowhere really interesting to go within like, you know, a 4-hour drive. Everything's within an hour and a half drive or like 8 hours. Right? You got San Francisco Bay Area, and then you've got nothing till you get to like LA, San Diego, that kind of stuff.
What about going north though?
Where do you go to Crackland? You got I mean it depends. We're not if you're into camping, you can go all over the darn place. If you're into like boating and all this, but we're not into that kind of stuff. So yeah.
I'm surprised. Well, I was going to say, why didn't you say gas prices? But then again, you don't worry about fuel.
What
prices.
are they? I don't know. Sucks for
All
you
right.
guys.
Yeah, but you know the thing is, but I can feel your pain because you know in Arizona, same thing.
Oh
You know,
yeah,
if
you
I
only
wanted-
have two cities, right?
No, we got Tucson, Phoenix, Flagstaff, but to get to some of the really nice areas, you got to drive a minimum of 3 hours, minimum. You know, and then if you want to get up into the high country, the pines and the stuff like that, it's 4 hours, minimum. So,
All right.
so, and yes, P-Beat, I know Jerry Reed is dead, so you have now been recruited as Snowman. You are now Snowman. Okay, I'm ready for your next one.
Mexican food.
God, you are brutal. Taco Bell. That's not Mexican food.
Right.
But yet USA
So you
Today,
didn't.
but no, USA Today rated it as the #1 Mexican food in the United States. That's not Mexican food.
It's got to be the number one sold.
But it's not really Mexican food.
Okay,
I
so
mean,
let you complain about your favorite Mexican restaurant then.
let me take it one step otherwise. Is my complaint about Mexican food is nobody acknowledges the truth that Arizona has absolutely the best Mexican food on the planet. Because in Texas, they say it's them, but that is Tex-Mex. In California, you've got Olvera Street. You may have a couple of places in the Bay Area that are ethnic, but nothing beats true Sonoran Mexican food. Nothing. But my complaint for my favorite Mexican restaurant, which is La Casita in Mammoth, is that the plates aren't like all you can eat.
I see. I see. Now, do real Mexican restaurants serve that yellow corn stuff that's kind of like dessert?
You mean calabacitas?
No. I
Yellow
think it's
corn
just like
stuff that's-
cornmeal and like sugar.
No,
No, you don't know what I'm talking about?
no.
When you go to a Mexican restaurant here, you get whatever you order, like your enchiladas or burrito or whatever. And then the other half of the plate is brown rice and runny beans. And then you get this one scoop of this yellow corn
Sure.
stuff.
Is it like
It's
rice pudding with cinnamon on it?
No. No, it's corn. It's yellow, and it holds the ball shape of the scooper that they use to
I have no idea.
Put it-
I have no idea what you have to send me a picture because that doesn't even sound.
tomatillo.
Well, tomatillo, but that's more. I don't know. No,
You know what it is?
never heard of
That's
it.
delicious.
But remember, there's Sonoran Mexican food. There's Oaxacan Mexican food. There's
Yeah. You know, and so that's the obviously you're used to whatever you grew up with. So I've gone to a couple of places that are more the authentic. I think especially in Mexico at a resort, you go to a Mexican restaurant and you're looking at the stuff and it's like beef and like you're like, where's the Mexican food? I don't want all
Well,
this.
yeah, and that's just it. I mean, you know, you have true south of the border Mexican food, and then you have true American Mexican food, for lack of a better term. Because one of the major things down in Mexico is carne seca. Now, if you've ever had carne seca, it's basically like eating jerky with spices. I mean, it's very dry. Carne meaning beef, and seca meaning dry, and it's very dry. And I remember growing up, we would go to this really authentic Sonoran Mexican restaurant. And my mom would always order our carne seca chimichanga, and you'd cut into the chimichanga, and it's like, well, Mom, why didn't you just kind of just saw up your shoe and put it in, wrap it in a tortilla? Because it was very dry, but that's what she liked. So.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
okay, pick a number.
3.
Vegetables.
Wow. Complain
Finally,
about
did I stump him finally?
vegetables. I like most vegetables. I hate okra though. What the F is with okra?
Well,
Is that even a vegetable?
Well, it smells
It's
funny and it's slimy.
slimy. Yeah, but vegetables in general. Okay.
I love this. Jerky as cow raisins. I love it.
So my complaint is the labor that vegetables take, because we're used to just buying stuff almost all ready to eat, and I'm known for be like, okay, I'm gonna get some healthy snacks. I love my celery, radishes, carrots, stuff like that. Go to the store, buy all this stuff, put it in the drawer at home, and then it just sits there, me thinking I gotta go cut all this crap up and put it into Ziplocs to eat it. And more often than not, we just find it at the bottom of the drawer getting kind of soggy and liquidy, and yeah.
Well, have you
So
thought
that
about,
it doesn't come just ready to eat. That's my
but have you
complaint.
thought about buying those ready to eat ones? Because we have stuff here where you can get radishes and celery, and it's already pre-made. You rip it open and just go to town.
Dave, I'm not going to pay somebody to cut my food for me.
Well, yeah, but think about it. Okay, wait a minute. So if you're not going to pay somebody to cut your food for you, that's fine.
I'm not.
But you go out and you spend all this money on stuff that you put at the bottom of the crisper. Are you really paying for it anyway? Economics 101. Now, see, you should take all that decomposing vegetables and put them out and give them back to the earth. Maybe the earth can do something. You never know. You may end up getting radish plants.
I do put it in the yard waste. It doesn't go in the trash.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I am so tired from husking corn and putting it in a pot of boiling water. Wine.
See,
now,
Pete understands.
If you and Pante ever get a chance, Tig Lily will make you a corn. Do you like corn?
Yeah.
We'll make you a dish called fried corn. And literally, now this is going to sound weird, and I don't mean it to sound sexual because it's not. But you cut the corn off of the cob, and then you milk the cob. That's the only way you can say it. But you milk the cob into a cast iron skillet, and you fry the corn so it gets a little bit of a crispiness to it, and then you add a little bit of sugar to it. Oh dear Lord, it's a meal in itself. In fact, like dessert. It is the most amazing corn dish. It's unbelievable.
I think PB, you get the theme of the show now, buddy. See?
I like this. He's complaining with us.
Wait, do you put butter in it with it?
Yes.
Okay.
Tons of butter, tons
now,
of salt,
how do you
tons of pepper.
corn on the grill with the husk or without the husk?
Depends on what I'm making. If I'm doing just corn on the cob, I'll do it in the husk. If I'm doing a Mexican street corn like pea-beet, I'll put it in the husk, then I'll open the husk up, slather it in crema and mayonnaise, tahine, salt and pepper. So it's a Mexican street corn. It's delicious. Although a certain person that I'm acquainted to doesn't like it because it's too sweet.
Because
the fact of putting crema and mayonnaise on corn and then cooking it, it kind of
I see
gives her a little bit of an oogie type thing. All right, I'm ready for the next one.
When your dog misses you and gives you kisses, complain about that.
Well, the only complaint I have is I wish I could go back in time and figure out where his tongue was prior to him giving me kisses. And more often than not, I think people would have to agree either they're licking their paws, they're licking their genitalia, or they're licking their butt. And then they give you a big kiss. And that's, being a pet owner, you just have to deal with that if you're a dog. Or if you're a cat owner, basically a cat comes and gives you a kiss or licks. The problem is they're going to take your skin off because a cat's tongue is like a comb.
I like to think that the tongue kind of self-cleans when it's in their mouth. That's my theory, just to keep you so you're not...
You go ahead and tell yourself that. But that actually brings up a good point, because if said dog has been doing that type of stuff and cleaning himself in various areas, you would think that you would get some type of odor, but you don't. So maybe you're right. Maybe your theory is correct, that he does his business and the tongue goes, okay, time to clean off, and they're clean. And then, or the other option is that let's give daddy or mommy kisses because we need to clean the tongue off.
Get that stuff off our tongue. Or their mouth is already colonized with all their butt bacteria anyway, so it's just constantly reloading.
I read somewhere, and I don't know if this is true, that a dog's mouth is actually probably cleaner than our own.
Oh, 100%. If you come into the hospital with a human bite, that's a big deal versus a dog bite. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Much more likely to get infected. We're nasty.
But I don't know of too many people that are doing the same things to themselves as a dog does, partially because their spine doesn't bend that way. I understand that. Because what's that old adage? Why does the dog do that? Because he can.
Because he can.
Yeah, exactly. So, interesting.
I think you don't have to worry about that unless you're fighting with Tyson.
That's true.
And then,
Good point.
Your host.
Plus, we stiff the telephone poles. See, P-Beat is really grasping. He's grasping the theme of the show, and I love it.
Well,
I love it. Okay, pick a number.
6.
Oh, here's a good one. So you have to complain about youth. The younger generation.
Oh, those entitled bastards. I can complain about them, no problem. The whole, this is who I think I am, so I expect everybody else to know who I think I am, and you have to address me as such, and I don't want to work, and everybody's a winner, and
participation trophies.
Participation trophies, and and it's weird because the people that are raising these folks didn't grow up that way.
No.
So that's what I don't get, is these parents that think, oh, everybody should get a trophy and all this stuff. Are they just butthurt that they didn't get a trophy and they're still carrying around that pain? And
could be. That's a good point.
Like, what in the world?
And also, when you and I were growing up, I'm a little bit older than you. When we were growing up, if you made $1.90 to $3.50 an hour, you were just happy that you had a job. We had a situation today. We were going to buy a new TV for something, and we bought it online, paid for it online, went down to Best Buy to pick it up. And yes, I'm picking on Best Buy for this reason. We get to the customer pickup desk. I'm here to pick up my order because the person on the phone said, yep, it'll be ready as soon as you walk in. So we drive the 45 minutes to get there. We get there, and this young gentleman, nice kid, but not exactly what you would call something that you would consider professional walking into. And I gave him the number, and he goes, do you have the barcode? And I said, no, but I have the order number right here. But they're so programmed to get the barcode. He goes, well, I don't know if I can get you the order. I said, receipt, order, it's right here. And so it wasn't ready, so he was going to go get it himself. Well, in the meantime, I go looking for another piece of equipment that I need. And this one lady was behind me, and she goes, is there anybody to help us? And this other employee flat out looked at her and says, well, yeah, when there's somebody available to help you. And I just sat there. And that would, when you and I were working, if that happened, you'd be fired on the spot. Get out. Yeah. So then they bring the order up, and I wasn't there, but Tig Lily goes, after I showed them the receipt and everything else, they say, I need to see your ID so I can release the package. And I get that. But then she wanted to use the cart. She wanted to use the cart to go out to the car and put the thing in the thing. Oh no, we can't let those leave the store.
You had to carry the TV out without a cart?
Yes. Although the one girl did say, well, I'll carry it out for you. And my wife's like, I can carry it out myself. So, and yeah, exactly. What's a ute? But yeah, so that, yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that the younger generation doesn't, like you said, that self-entitlement, I don't want to work, or, I had a situation with my doctor where we were having a little bit of a disagreement, and the medical assistant says, I believe that you're being rude, and I'm ending this call now. Click. So I called the doctor back, and I said, okay, guess what? That ain't happening no more. So, wow. Okay, I'm ready for my next one. That was a good one.
All right. Complain about playing bingo on the shaving cadre.
Oh, well, my only complaint is when the games, because obviously you and I, we play either at work if we can,
Mm.
or we play when we get home at night or early in the morning. And when some of the puzzles become so complicated that you end up having to call Stephen Hawking or calling Albert Einstein to figure out the algorithm of the call just to get a B and a 4. That drives me nuts.
Yeah.
But that was about it. Most of them are fun. I enjoy the banter. I don't enjoy always the complaining, but that's the nature of the game.
Yeah. It's funny though. We've gotten kind of soft with that because if
We
you have
used to
to
be
work too
brutal.
hard to get the car, it's like, forget it. I'll play the next game.
Well, and this is going to sound terrible, but there's been times when I've been playing and literally I'll wait until the recap.
Oh.
And then I'll just say, okay, this is it. Because they do get too convoluted. I mean, I would have to say that back in the old days, KJ, myself, John Tabor, we were brutal because we would use the Wayback Machine. But if we were to get a modern equivalent of the most devious and mind-blowing caller, that would have to be Chris.
Chris.
Gear.
Oh, okay.
Gears games are tough. And I wish he would play more. I really do.
Yeah. So PB reminded me of something. So this is they can't figure out how to make change till the register tells them. What drives them really crazy is if the price is like, $14.57 and you give them 2 pennies and a 20 so they don't have to give you pennies back. Right? And they sit there and stare at you like, what 57? This is 2 pennies. Yeah.
I didn't even think about that until you said it. And what I do, I don't like change.
Wow.
I don't like change, especially in my car because the way you sit in the car, it's just not. So what I do is I hope that the drive-in has one of those little donation things, and I just tell the guy, you know what, give me the bills, put the change in the thing, and I'm done with it. So.
Yeah.
Was that a train?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, go ahead and pick another number.
Am I not? Did I pick 7? So.
No, you already did that one. Well, no, I guess did. You want to pick 7? If you want to, I'll give you that one.
Just tell me one. We're almost near. We're up on an hour.
The city you live in.
It's a pretty nice place, Dave.
That's why I picked it.
Okay, all right. So the house we have, I think, was built in the 60s, and a lot of the stuff is original. We got single pane windows and all this stuff. And if you're right here, I'm looking down onto the airport, and depending on the conditions of what do you call like air conditions, the air layers and stuff like that, atmospheric conditions.
Mm-hmm.
The sound from the planes not only can travel much farther, but it shakes the front glass window next to the front door. That drives us nuts. Usually in the wintertime, the planes are taking off and you hear the glass go.
Well, and obviously where you live is a little bit more prone to earthquakes. So, and I know that you every time there's an earthquake and I get a notification on my weather app, I call you and say, you're okay. You're like, yeah, it was 5.6, big deal. So I know you get used to it, but how do you differentiate the difference between those two?
Well, it'll just be the window rattling if it's a plane. It's the whole house will rattle. Yeah. But, most of our earthquakes don't last that long.
Oh, it only takes one.
Well, big enough one.
Now, were you there for the Northridge quake? Oh, okay.
No, my wife was, but no.
And what was her feeling behind that?
I
saw that. Oh, you can tell the difference. That had to be terrifying. I mean, it had to have been. I mean, it's... Ugh.
Well, the biggest one I was ever in was when my daughter was yet a very little baby in her crib, and the house shook long enough. I remember running in and putting my body over the crib just in case. But even that stuff wasn't falling off the walls or anything.
Right.
So. But you're right. The craziest thing is when I moved here, there's a road that basically goes from this area over to the coast. and it's in like a little valley. And then I realized that valley you're driving along is the fault.
Oh,
There's
you're
a
right on
valley
the
there because that's where
so you're right on the San Andreas
San
when
Andreas
you're driving
fault.
that.
Yeah, it's like right, and there's houses right there in the valley and a road, and I'm just like, this is insane. But I don't know.
Well,
It's weird. It's tornadoes. I think is like.
Well, tornadoes. The thing with tornadoes is tornadoes during the daytime is one thing, but at night
Oh.
would freak me out. You just don't know. You just
Mhm.
And here the big thing here is heat, lightning during the monsoon, which we, those of us that live here. That's what I meant. Northridge was in South. Yeah, I meant the Loma Prieta because the Loma Prieta quake was the one where the bridge collapsed. Correct.
The overpass smashed down.
Okay, that's
yeah.
what I thought. That had to be just terrifying. But
Well, and what's crazy is I work in a hospital, and so every now and again we run the tabletop disaster drills. What would you do in this case and then in this case? And if it's like a fire in the hospital or something like that, we've got all sorts of plans for it. But if there's a major earthquake that shuts down highways and stuff like that, we can do certain stuff immediately, and after that, it's kind of like, not to the extent, but a lot of it's like everybody's kind of on their own. Ain't nobody coming from anywhere to help you. All the staff that needs to go home and stuff, they're on their own. And it's like you can only do so much when it affects a huge area versus, I guess, like a tornado. You tend to get like a swath, and then other people can come help you. But yeah, you're right. You see those videos of people. It's dark outside, and you just hear the noises and the rain just smashing on your. Oh.
Yeah, the worst hurricane that I was visiting my mom in Puerto Rico, and a hurricane hit. And the bad thing about that is the hurricane itself is larger than the island. So you have, 8 hours of this torrential wind that sounds like a train, and then you'll get a little bit of calm, and then the wind switches direction because of the twirling and goes the other way. And then you've got another 8 to 9 hours, and then when it finally ends up, you walk outside and there's nothing. Trees, jungle, gone, and it's pretty freaky. So,
That's
all right,
crazy.
pick me one more, and I'll pick
On
you
the
one more.
positive side, we've got Ghirardelli.
And you have you also have Chinatown, the Chinese food. Oh, so good. Okay, give me one more, and I'll give you one more.
Okay, I think this is my. Oh, okay. Complain about when you get to shut down your shop early on a Saturday and go home for the weekend.
You want me to complain about that?
That's the show, buddy.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, basically, well, this just happened to me last week, as a matter of fact. And I guess the complaint that I have is when I set my mind, when I get up in the morning, I look at my schedule, I say, okay, here's who's coming in, here's what I plan for and stuff like that. So when it changes, it screws me up. So in other words, like I was done by 11:15 last Saturday, and I'm normally there till 2. And literally for an hour, I sat there staring at the TV watching some old movie because I'm thinking, oh, okay, somebody's coming in. Then I realize that somebody's not coming in. So then, okay, well, I'll do a deep cleaning of the shop. So I start doing that. And I said, wait a minute, I'm out here early. It's Saturday. Get the hell out of here. And then you come home and you don't have anything to do for a couple hours. So that's my complaint. Is I have to be busy. I have
mentally
to
messed up your. Did somebody just not show up?
No, they called. They had something.
Oh, I see.
Obviously, I have to be real careful because sometimes, how come you didn't show up for your appointment? Well, I was having open heart surgery. Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. I'm sorry. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to give you your last one, and I'm going to find a good one for you. So I'll give you the ones that I did not get a chance to give you. Number 9 was the quality of items. So in other words, when you buy something quality, so we'll have to do that again. The other one was types of food dishes that you like to complain about. So now the one I'm going to give you is complain about, Dave, aches and pains. Getting older.
Oh, and my dad can relate to this because he's dealing with back issues. But the shit that happens for no reason whatsoever. And I don't know. I mean, I assume everybody has these, but the weirdest one is when you just like get up and walk, and all of a sudden you like pull the bottom of your foot, and you're like limping along, and you're like, right, what the hell happened? And then 2 minutes later, it's all fine, right? And you're just, what was that about?
I had that happen today. I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was like somebody had taken. I had a cramp in my calf. But and the problem is, usually there's two ways to deal with a cramp. You either bend your leg or your foot, or you do it the other way. Neither one of these was working. I'd stretch my foot out, it would get worse. I would pull it in, it would get worse. And then I got up, and it's like somebody took a sledgehammer to my back. And I'm literally hobbling around, and Tigler looks at me and goes, "What the hell happened to you?" I said, "I don't know."
I've never had the toe spasms.
No,
but as you know, the worst is the back stuff, right? And when you did you reach and you scratch, you itch yourself or whatever, and that one little muscle in your back has you like laid out.
Well, or I sleep on my side, and I usually put my left arm under my pillow. And if you do that long enough, and you don't, and I don't move very much in the night, and it bothers her because literally as my head is hitting the pillow, I'm out. But I woke up this morning and literally sat up, and I didn't have a left arm. It didn't work. I mean, it flat out didn't work. It's like, what's going on here?
And do you sit there? Do you do it nice and slow, where you like let a little blood flow go in and start moving your finger just a little bit, and otherwise that can hurt.
I try to force it, which is probably I tried to force my arm on my back. Said, "Okay, watch my beer." And then okay. So complaining about aches and pains. What plantar fasciitis? Okay. I had it. It was miserable. I got 2 shots. It didn't get better. And then one day I woke up, gone. It
was gone.
Never been back. Why?
Weird.
Why?
You know what I've been researching? I'm not going to get into it, but all of a sudden I got curious about those shoes that have the toes for each, that have the individual toes and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I was like, why do people wear those? There's a whole world out there. They're called natural shoes, right? They're super thin, and their theory is too that our shoes constrict your feet, being more narrow than they're naturally supposed to be, and we walk differently now and all that stuff. Very kind of interesting.
But here's my argument. 2 parts that I'll complain about to that theory. Number one, how many times did you see Cro-Magnon man or Neanderthals walk upright? They were hunched over. Okay, so I don't know how good that is. And number 2, all those people that love these little, toe shoes and stuff, and they're thin, come out to Arizona and step on a cactus, and we'll see how long it is before you want a thick-soled shoe.
Okay. That's fun. This reminds me of like the I've seen memes, right? It's like the sound decibel level of like yelling and a train and a plane, and the highest one is somebody telling you they're a vegan.
Well, and it's funny. Speaking of probably the modern day prophet that I miss so much was George Carlin, because everything he talked about fit a multitude of different generations and everything else. So, okay, finish it up, Dave, with one more. Give me
one more. Okay, I think it's the last one I have for you.
Okay.
Complain about getting a free bottle of cigar malt scotch.
Okay, my complaint would be that I would probably sit outside on a Sunday during a Zoom call with the cadre, and I would drink the whole bottle and then wake up the next morning and say, there went $170 down the toilet, and then go.
It's free.
And then, it's free, but I have to replace it though.
Oh, I see.
I have to replace it. That's why I've got the one bottle I have now. I've been sipping on because of.
I was going to ask. You leave just a little bit at the bottom, so you don't. It's not gone.
Actually, I've got about a little over, just under half right now.
Oh,
so
I see.
I enjoyed this show. I thought this was a fun show. I hope the barflies liked it, and hopefully this will prompt them to give us stuff to talk about from a subject matter on a regular basis.
My God! I just realized we could do another show where we have to talk nicely about certain things.
Okay,
that might be even harder.
Let's do that next week. We each pick 10 things that we have to talk nicely about. And what I like about doing it this way is we don't know what's coming. I like doing it this way. So, okay, let's plan on that. So, for next week's show on Drinks and Daves, we are going to switch gears, and we are going to become the angels that you all know us to be.
Right.
complimentary to all.
Well, we're gonna take off this facade.
Yes, and we're going to put on the everything is roses and chamomile and butterflies.
Oh, I hate
and,
chamomile, dude.
No, you can't hate it. You have to love it now.
Next week. Next week.
Next week you have to love chamomile.
Love it.
And we're going to talk about how wonderful the world is and how much. So we'll come up with subjects for you. And if you guys have any subjects, Dave, put up the banner that we put up every week. If you have any subject matter of things that you would like us to talk about that we are positive about, and it can be anything, even if we're negative about it, we'll be positive. We will talk with that sing-songy thing, and we'll talk. It'll be like a Stuart Smalley moment. It'll be like a Stuart Smalley moment.
Yeah. Should we change our background to like happy trees?
Oh, we could do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. So either you can be Stuart Smalley, or what's the guy that used to paint? Bob Ross, or I'll be Stuart Smalley and Bob Ross, and we can do it that way. We can do pretty little things, and literally at the end we will pass out.
Oh, wait, I got a better banner for having to behave that way.
Exactly. So anyways, I hope everybody had a good time tonight. We certainly did. As always, we appreciate you guys being here each and every day. I think we're sitting at about 103 subscribers, so we're plugging away slowly but surely. And join us again next week at 6 p.m. Pacific for the Holy Show. We will talk about good things. Just because nobody complains doesn't mean all parachutes are perfect. Perfect. All right, guys. Say goodnight, Dave.
Night, Dave.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Have a good night.